okay, so if you want to pay off your loans over 30 years and live this kind of lifestyle, which was probably like standard middle class, whatever, you're going to need to make a minimum of $120,000 a year. And I just looked at that and laughed because I think like at the time, the discourse I was running was like, that's impossible. Like I probably made like $10 an hour at like the jobs I was working to get through college,
Right,
so I'm like, how the heck am I going to go from there to there,
Yeah.
But then I made this decision. It actually happened in two different instances. I made this decision and I was like, all right, if that's what I got to do, that's what I got to do. Fine. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I don't know how, but I'll figure it out. Because I did not want to be like struggling broke for the rest of my life.
Right. Welcome to the Driving to the Rest podcast. This is Inelia.
And this is Larry. Just a quick note. If you're hearing this, you're on our free feed, which means you'll only get the first part of this conversation.
To access the rest, go drivingtotherest.com and subscribe to the Wisdom Keeper Hour.
Join us and our expert panelists for detailed insights and the after party where you're invited to join in the conversation. Head over to drivingtotherez.com and become a subscriber.
Your subscription keeps this podcast ad-free and helps us keep the lights on and maybe even get a decent cup of coffee. More importantly, it connects you with a community of passionate wisdom keepers like yourself. So if you're ready to go deeper, join us at drivingtotherez.com and support the journey. Dr. Kara.
Hi, Amelia.
Hi.
How are you?
Great. What did you bring for us today?
Well, I thought I would bring some examples of how you can actually change the compatibility of your discourse.
Wow.
Yes.
I can't wait to hear this. Come
yes.
on.
Okay.
Go.
So, it's not done overnight. What I'm going to share is a story that took me about 5 years and ongoing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So something I have the privilege of being one of your researchers for the Communication Network of Reality.
Yes.
So we've been diving deep into this.
Yes.
And one of the recent aha moments that I've gotten is that changing the compatibility of your discourse takes repetition and immersion.
Yes. And time.
And time. So those three things together, and then it works. And so I wanted to share some stories of what's been working.
Yes.
All right. So let's paint the picture.
Okay.
All right. So it's 2016. Sorry.
I was going to say that.
Wait. 2016. 10 years ago.
Okay.
I had just graduated with my PhD. I had landed my first job out of grad school, which is also part of the wealth story. But at that moment in time, I was dead ass broke. Like, really broke. Like,
a huge student loan,
huge. Right? $120,000 in the red.
Right.
And probably $20,000 in credit card debt.
Yeah.
And probably $200 of my checking account, right? And it actually, this discourse starts maybe even 10 years earlier. When I was 16 years old, I was working one of my first jobs, not my first one, but an early one, because I was a teenager, and I was a caterer for a catering company. And Denver, I don't know, it's kind of a small city. It's not like New York or San Francisco. So there were like 2 catering companies in the city. And because of that, we were like the nicest, poshest one.
Okay.
And so I had the benefit at an early age of seeing what it was like to be rich.
That exposure to that discourse.
Yes. Many discourses of rich, too. So for context, I grew up in the suburbs, had a middle-class family life, so not like struggling, but not super affluent. I would say like pretty standard. And I did have friends in low and high places, let's say. But what really surprised me at such an early age was seeing the different discourses of wealth. And it was honestly very educational. Like, so we would go in and cater food for people, right? And we would cater food, everything from bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs to birthday parties. There was this guy, he had a 50th birthday party in his airplane hangar. We catered this beautiful mountain estate in the Rockies, and the guest house had 18 bedrooms.
The guest house
had 18 bedrooms, and they'd imported wood from England because they to go on the outside of the house because they really wanted like a certain look and feel. It was beautiful. We also did like charity events, small parties. There was even like some with celebrities. There was one that was like a full-on party. Like I think the guy owned like a pornography circuit or something. God. Yeah. So because I was under 18, I could only work certain areas. I couldn't go upstairs. Right. And we even went to a party where the president of the United States was there. The then president of the United States. I got
Who was that?
President George W. Bush.
Okay.
So I got screened by the Secret Service and everything.
Wow.
So it was so fascinating because a lot of these parties were in people's homes. And so I would go in and just literally like just see how these people lived, like pictures of their families, what the environment looked like. And what really made an impression on me was how they treated us, the staff, right? And it ranged quite a lot. The one experience that still sticks with me to this day, I remember the family name. Their name was the Gallaghers. They were holding an event for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, which is a nonprofit organization in the U.S. that basically makes a kid's wish come true when they're dying of like a terminal illness. Talk about heartstrings, right?
Yes.
I don't know if it's legit or not. I'm not endorsing that. But when I was 16, I'm like,
absolutely.
I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like so much philanthropy. These people are amazing. And we were in their home and they were just like the nicest people I've ever met. And their family, like I remember the mom, because she had, young kids, her taste was like impeccable, like elegant, but homey, sophisticated, but tasteful, just amazing luxury, but in such a like, I don't know, it just really resonated.
Natural way.
Yeah, it wasn't like ego in your face, but they surrounded their home with beautiful things. And they were really like intentional with their wealth. So they organized this whole party, right, to raise money for these kids. And they probably raised, I don't even know, I can't remember, but like probably like $50,000. And this was 2004 or something. So it was a lot of money. And we had full staff. And I remember the mom, she made envelopes for each of us. There were probably like 20 staff working that party. And in each envelope, there was $80 cash. Right? So that's like a good amount of money.
For that,
yeah, that was more money than like I'd worked the entire night for with my hourly wage, which was probably like $6 an hour or something. But what really stood out to me was she connected. Like she said hi to us. She checked in. She was very grateful. She actually like talked to the staff, and not just like the manager, but like all of us. And I was like, wow. I want to be that kind of rich,
right?
Yes. And it really left an impression. And there were others that were like really cool, like the 18-room estate. And I don't know. I remember like it was Christmas and we were pouring like champagne down this waterfall with celebrities singing Christmas carols. Like it left a different impression.
Right.
But it was this other lady that I'm like, that's the kind of rich I want to be. And it wasn't just the I'm rich and I've got money and like that discourse of ego and I don't know, just a different expression, right? But one of like supporting people, enjoying their wealth, connection, and making the world a better place, right? I don't know if that's actually what they did or not, honestly, but that's how it felt to me at the time. Right. And so that was my first blueprint, let's say, to that discourse of wealth because I'd never seen it before.
Right.
And like, how do you know what you don't know?
Right.
Right. You don't.
maybe wrong information on television or something.
And there's so much of that on
Yes.
television. Like, how many times do you see, like, the evil villain is a billionaire?
Right.
Or they're
very unhappy, like Dallas.
Right. Yeah, or they're very unhappy, or it's just some guy who's greedy. He's, like, robbing a bank or something.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
I think of the movie Die Hard or something.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, no, we're just robbing a bank. It's like, okay. So a lot of that discourse in the media is being rich is evil and don't go there. In fact, it's better if you're poor. It means you're, like, honorable or whatever, have values, right? There's so much of that. But that's not what I saw with this family. It was the opposite of that. They were, like, improving their community and enjoying life and making a difference. And I'm like, this is so different.
It is,
right?
yeah.
So let's fast forward 4, 5, 8 more years, I count.
Okay.
And now I'm finishing grad school. And one of the things that happens when you're in college in the United States is at some point you have this, like, exit training program of, like, okay, now you're going to go out in the world and, like, you have to make payments for your student loans. And here's some things you have to take into consideration. And it's like, I don't know, I give you a calculator and you put in your numbers and stuff, like, how much do you owe? How long do you plan to pay it off? Whatever. So I put in my numbers and it was like, okay, so if you want to pay off your loans over 30 years and live this kind of lifestyle, which was probably, like, standard middle class, whatever, you're going to need to make a minimum of $120,000 a year. And I just looked at that and laughed because I think, like, at the time, the discourse I was running was like, that's impossible. Like, I probably made, like, $10 an hour at, like, the jobs I was working to get through college, you know? So I'm like, how the heck am I going to go from there to there, you know?
Yeah.
But then I made this decision. It actually happened in 2 different instances. I made this decision and I was like, all right, if that's what I got to do, that's what I got to do. Fine. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I don't know how, but I'll figure it out. Because I did not want to be, like, struggling broke for the rest of my life.
Right.
Like, and that was that discourse of, if I just calculated, let's say, what my parents earned, it wasn't gonna work because they didn't make that much money.
Right.
And so how was I gonna do it? I don't know. But I was so, like, committed. I was like, I'm gonna figure this out. I don't know how, but I will. So the discourse I wanted to move away from was from broke to rich, right? But what does that even mean? You know, it's like, if you don't know what discourse you want,
or even why you want it.
Exactly.
Right?
Like, then how are you going to get there? And a lot of this is, like, in the work that you teach of, like, you know, you have, well, first define it. So what does rich or being wealthy mean? So I spend some time thinking about that. And then it's like, okay, so why do you want it? Why? Right. And for, you know, throughout my 20s, I was just, like, struggling to pay bills and struggling. That was the discourse I was running.
Okay.
And a lot of it was tied around finances. And then I decided, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. I want to do something different. But how do I get there? And so I did have that drive. Like, I'm going to figure this out because I did not want to keep living that way. And I wanted to live like the Gallaghers, you know?
Yes.
As not like exactly like, but
have that energy.
Have that energy.
Yes.
Have that energy. And that also brought in the truth that I had work to do. You know, one of the first things that you teach is you got to take responsibility for your life. Like, stop blaming people, you know, think circumstances are external to you. Don't let fear run your life. I don't know if you've used the lexicon in, like, that particular way, but you do, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much
it's
all of it.
That's it. Exactly.
Yes.
It's like, be responsible, right? And so I was like, okay, then I gotta, like, figure this out. You know, how do I do that? And I think this is really important because a lot of times, like, we think we know what we want, or we think we know where we need to go, but we actually have no freaking clue.
Right.
Because I had no clue. Like, how do I become rich?
Mm-hmm.
How? I don't know. Like, my parents didn't have like a hedge fund or come from old money or whatever, you know. I mean, we were like middle class, so it wasn't nothing, but they didn't know how to be rich. I didn't know how to become like these people I'd catered for. So part of it was then also, if we're going back to like this immersion and repetition thing, I started to immerse myself with discourses of wealth. And so part of it was like, what do rich people do? How do they get rich? Let's find out, right? So like read books. Back then it was like reading books, because YouTube, I don't even think
it was
existed. But over time, right, that helps too. So like educate, right?
Yes.
Like learn about what the hell is the stock market. I remember asking my dad, who'd worked in Wall Street most of his career, I'm like, can you just explain to me what a stock is? I just don't get it. And he was very patient, a great teacher, and just would walk me through the basics. And I would read all these other books about the basics. Yes. One of my favorite money books, I still recommend it. It's by Susie Orman, and it says, what is it? The name of the title is like For the Young, Broke, and Fabulous.
I love the title.
It's so good. And it's like, if you're in that stage of your life, not just, she does generally target 20-year-olds, but I mean, anyone in that like financial situation, she teaches you the basics of like how to budget, why to budget, what an IRA is. It's like a type of, you know, retirement investing in the U.S. and like all these things. And I'm like, what the hell is... What is a 401k? What is an IRA? I don't know what that is. Like they don't
teach you that?
No, not at all.
Wow.
No.
Okay.
That's the thing about the U.S. education, at least the education I had, which I think is mostly standard. I don't know if you go to like Harvard or Yale or something. It's probably not, but or maybe prep school. But either way, they don't teach you
life skills.
No.
Wow.
They don't teach you how to balance a checkbook. They don't teach you about compounding interest. They don't teach you about retirement. Like none of that.
Okay.
None of that. Right. So you either like figure it out on your own or from your family, and that's probably it.
Okay.
Right? So that's what I'm coming out of.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I love that book because it just like laid it out. You know, it might be dated now. I don't know. But I mean, there's all these other books of like, Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And, you know, I just like immersed myself in these books, but I was learning about another discourse.
Right. How to change it. And really, right?
Exactly.
Exactly how to change it.
Exactly how to change it. Because that's what they talk about.
Exactly. That's a change.
Literally. They're like, here's what to do. This, and this. And I'm like, okay, great. So I like did a lot of that.
Yeah.
And then also combined that with the work you do, right? So it's like all the manifestation stuff, you know, process your fears, look at your firewalls. And then even some of the mystical stuff, like having like an altar and doing magic and feeling boards, vision boards. I didn't know what any of that stuff was before I'd found your work, but the feeling boards especially, like I would play with that in Second Life, which is one of our favorite, I would say, manifestation tools. Yes.
My God, I'm scared of it now.
It's like, so
oh my God.
effective.
So effective. Oh my gosh.
It literally just, it works. It's crazy. And you don't even have to like do a lot and it works.
I know.
Like I've manifested husbands from Second Life, multiple properties, businesses, like
all the things.
Yes. Like it's powerful.
Yeah, you run a nonprofit as well.
Yes, exactly. So it freaking works. And I mean, we could talk like a whole episode about Second Life, but I think the main thing though is that this was not done overnight, right? So in 2016, I'm broke as hell with probably $150,000 in debt. And then by 2021, I was a literal millionaire. 5 years. 5 years from that to this. Incredible. And I can definitely test all of that work and knowledge and capability came from your teachings. Because
I remember the process. Yeah.
Yes,
I watched it
you
happen.
witnessed it. You witnessed
Yes,
it.
I witnessed it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was like intense, you know?
But yeah, because you took the tools and you used them.
Yes, very seriously.
Very seriously and committed to the process, you know?
And I think that's the key is like, if you really want to change your discourse, you can, but it's like every day.
Yes.
And it's not just like when you feel like it, you know? So there's some other things I picked up along the way that, you know, came from all sorts of different sources, but a lot of these people teach the same thing, you know? But it's things like your mindset or what are you saying about yourself? Like even in this article, you're talking about that, right? And even like how do you present and communicate to the world? And when you introduce that ultra-dimensional communication video on YouTube, it's like all about communication, right? How are you projecting and communicating with the universe through what you wear, how you wear your expressions, your hair, you know, all the things.
Everything, your smell,
everything. And one of those practices I learned was dress for success, right? And this was something I'd kind of like slowly figured out, but by 2016, it was so funny. By 2019, I was living with Ashley, one of our panelists. She was gracious enough to help me move to Washington, so I was living with her for a while. Was working on remotely. And even though I was making like good money, I was still just like broke, right? And then I was looking at my wardrobe and I'm like a 32-year-old woman. Why do I literally only wear or own 2 pairs of pants? Like, WTF. Like, and I'm serious. Like a pair of jeans and like leggings. Maybe. No, I don't even think I had sweatpants. Like, that was it.
That was it.
And I'm like, I don't think this is normal.
How many dresses did you own?
Then? Funny you ask, because before I'd moved to Washington, fortunately, my stepmom was like a fashionista.
Oh, good.
And she helped educate me on how to like be feminine and dress in dresses because I had no idea. I think she taught me when I was 16. And then I'd used her employees discount at Anthropology, which is like a fabulous store. And I'd acquired this amazing wardrobe, like with dresses, really like expensive ones, like to me expensive, like a $400 dress or something like that. And I'd acquired it over time and oh my God, I loved it. But then it's such a weird program, but it's the discourse, right? So when I was leaving from California to come here, I said, I'm going to live in the forest. I don't need dresses and heels. I got rid of my whole wardrobe.
What?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
The whole thing. I know.
Wow. Random.
I just was like, well, I'm not going to need it. Because I was working in California and Silicon Valley. And that was a really weird discourse because they did not dress up there.
No.
It was the opposite.
It's weird. Yeah.
In fact, I felt uncomfortable wearing dresses, color, heels.
Right.
It was very odd.
It's so weird.
Because the trend at that time, this is like circa 2026, Silicon Valley, tech bros, they prided themselves on like wear hoodies, sneakers, tennis shoes, jeans. That's it.
Right.
You could be like a billionaire and that's your wardrobe. And they loved that.
Yeah.
And like literally, like there probably were billionaires walking down the street in that attire. And like that's what it was. And the women, I noticed a lot of them would wear like yoga pants, cycling clothes, plaid, and a lot of black.
Right.
And a lot of black. And I remember when I moved to the Bay Area, I was shocked because I was like,
what?
Why?
This is California.
Yeah,
come on.
I know. I'm like, I was thinking LA, I guess, or I don't know, but different in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So a lot of black, a lot of plaid, and a lot of like gender neutrality in clothing. And I'm like, okay. So I had this clothing, but I felt oddly out of place. And then, I'm running like, oh, I hope they like me discourses. I was fresh out of college and there were all these smart people around me, blah, blah, blah. I wanted to, quote, fit in and whatever. And I came from the Southwest of the U.S., which is like very vibrant and full of color, like bright color. Think like Santa Fe, Denver. It's like color everywhere. Opposite. It's like black and gray.
Wow.
I remember my manager making a comment that I wore purple eyeliner.
What?
Yes.
They made a comment about that.
Yes.
Jesus.
Yes. And so I was like,
So you didn't wear them?
No, I still wore my eyeliner.
Oh, good.
But like I noticed that my wardrobe changed. Like I wasn't wearing what I was in Denver, in California. And then also...
got rid of it completely.
And then I'm like, well, I'm not wearing it. I'll just get rid of it. And I had all these beautiful, expensive clothes. No. I tell Fred this story, and he just, like, shudders. He's like, why did you do it? I'm like, I know, I'm such an idiot.
Darling, let's go to Paris. I'll buy you a new wardrobe.
Exactly. That's another important thread of connection when it comes to discourses is your spouse. Because at that point, I had a different spouse. He was running tons of poverty programs. When I got my divorce, my income immediately shot up.
Yes.
Immediately. Yeah. Like uncanny. So it is, in my experience, true that one of the most important financial decisions you will ever make is who you're married to.
Yes.
Period.
Yeah.
And when I married Fred, it was like the opposite, like literal opposite. And what I love about him is he like likes really fine things.
Yes.
He's got taste and like likes luxury. And I love that because that just wasn't a thing before, right? So that's another like part of the discourse. So anyway, you know, I got rid of most of my wardrobe when I moved here. And I was also coming from this Northern California discourse.
Hoodie and jeans.
Yeah, and ripped jeans.
Oh gosh,
and
the
plaid.
ripped jeans, yes.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Be poor and like it discourse from the social engineers. And so at some point I was just like, okay, this is ridiculous. Like I need to change this, right? And so I was reading, you know, a combination of your work, other people's work, especially about interdimensional communication of like what we wear is what we're projecting out of like what we want to attract and all these things and how we're communicating about who we are. And I'm like, okay, I gotta change this. I'm gonna dress like a rich girl. You know? Yeah. I don't even know what that means. I still don't really know what that means.
Maybe do a little bit of research.
Yeah, I know. I did a little bit, and when I saw some of the price tags, I'm like, oh, okay, I got more work to do. But it was an improvement.
Yeah.
So I started with where I was at because I think another thing that I noticed is that people can sabotage their compatibility changes with discourses. Yeah. Because I was trying to get rich, but also recognizing I wasn't rich yet. And I chose to take a more believable approach. So I started small. When we were in the Instant Manifestation workshop, we were working on our items and like, what do we want to manifest and what would generate that feeling? And at the time, I wanted to get like a really nice piece of jewelry that made me feel really rich.
Nice.
And I went to Costco, which for those who don't know, it's like a wholesale retailer in the US, and they sell jewelry.
They do.
And there was like this beautiful amethyst diamond gold ring with this huge rock. I'm actually disappointed I'm not wearing it today. I know.
I'll show it.
I know. But it was this huge rock, and I didn't own jewelry. Like, I just didn't. No, I didn't even I didn't own jewelry. Okay. So I bought this, and it was like my first piece jewelry that I'm like, this makes me feel rich. Because what do rich ladies wear? They have big freaking rings on their hands. See? Exactly. Yes. They got big freaking gems and like diamonds and all of that. Yeah. So it was on the more affordable side for me. It was like $700 or something, which at the time was a lot of money. Yeah. Because that's half my student loan payment. Right?
My goodness. Yes.
So again, it's like you gotta like see where you're at. Because if I had bought like a $10,000 ring, there would have been all sorts of
poverty because credit card and
programs. I probably would have felt guilty or
lost it, got it stolen.
Exactly.
All the programs. Yeah.
Exactly. So I acknowledged with where I was at, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna do this. And so I bought the ring, and I freaking love it. I'm like, yes, it's this massive rock. It's gorgeous and sparkly. I love it. Oh, yes, you know. And it really did generate that feeling, you know, and it works. So I just started to do like more and more. My next goal was like, how can I continue? What else do rich people do? Oh, they've got teams of people. like, they don't do stuff on their own. They've got like staff.
Right, they do.
And I wasn't in a position to like hire people, and I didn't know what I would hire them for, but I'm like, I need a team. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get a realtor. I'm going to get like some kind of financial person thing. I didn't even know what kind.
Right.
And then I would love it if I had like a fashion designer or something. Like, oh, that would be amazing. Like, okay, I'm going to start there. Perfect. So that's what I did, right? Realtor helped me buy my properties, which that was part of the rich thing too.
Yes.
Rich people own
more than one property.
Yes. And I bought 2 at once.
Yeah.
Fossil Beach and my first house.
Yeah.
But then also when the company I worked for went public, basically I had stock options that were now worth something, and how you manage them impacts taxes and blah, blah, blah. There's all this complicated stuff. So I was like, okay, I need to hire a professional to help me with this. So I did research, found a firm that specializes in working with Silicon Valley tech startup IPO, like 30-year-old professionals. And I was like, perfect, take my money. And then I learned things about like, the difference between a fee-based advisor, a fiduciary advisor, and then a non any of those advisors, which basically that means some of these advisors are literally or legally obligated to work in your interest. But some are not.
No.
And I didn't even know that until I read
commission-based.
Exactly. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Salesmen.
Exactly. They can just like, oh yeah, buy these mutual funds. They're great. I get a huge kickback, 2%. Yeah. I had no idea. But if I hadn't been reading those books,
you wouldn't have known.
I wouldn't have known. Right. And so it's like all these compounding things. And then over time, I like created a money altar. I got better with my clothing. I tried like shopping on my own. It was kind of a disaster. I remember buying like a set of pajamas or something, and Ileana was over at my house at the time, and I was like, what do you think of my new pajamas? She's like,
oh no.
It looks a little old lady. And I'm like, oh no. I don't want old lady discourse.
Oh my gosh.
I think I was single at the time too.
Oh my gosh.
Like, get rid of that. So I'm like, okay, I don't like shopping. I'm actually not a good shopper. No. And some, like yourself, very good fashion tastes, know what they're doing. I have no bloody idea what I'm doing. And I've gotten better. But, there's just some women have an eye for beauty. I don't have that innate talent. But some do. And when you see it, you know it, right? So I found ways to get to that feeling of like having my own designer, like fashion designer. So I even now I subscribe to this subscription box of you have a stylist who will pick things out for you based on what you like. And, you like give them your, preferences, colors, patterns, sizes, all of that. And they pick for you, which is like great because I don't want to have to figure it out.
Personal shopper.
Yes. Just shop for me so I don't have to. Right. And they mail it to my house and it's great. I love that.
It's like Christmas every month.
Yeah, it literally is. I love that. Yes. And that's where I like got this dress. And I had, we had like a community barbecue today, and I had a lot of people be like, wow, that dress is so beautiful. You look so pretty. And wow, you really dressed up for our, picnic. And I was like, at first, there's like these programs of like being apologetic for it or like, oh, no, like, kind of rejecting it. But the whole point is to like receive that. Exactly. Like, oh, thank you. It's true, And there's been a process of learning how to do that. Because I think a lot of people aren't very good at receiving. And if you're going to get rich, you got to be good.
You have to be good at receiving.
You have to be good at receiving. You
really do.
You have to.
You have to.
Otherwise, it's not going to work.
Forget it.
Yeah. And like, are rich people apologetic for being fabulous?
No.
Not at all. It's like, not.
Or scruffy either.
Exactly.
You're not apologetic for being scruffy either.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, it's this different energy. And that's still in some ways a work in progress, but I'm working with where I'm at. And it's like a daily thing, right? And so I've learned, yes, I can wear dresses in the forest, or working remotely. And over time, I've been upgrading my wardrobe. Thank goodness, because every once in a while, I have to like fly on this business trip.
You need clothes.
Yeah, you need really nice clothes.
Oh, it's a question. The same people that were wearing ripped up jeans and hoodies now are in the same room with you wearing fabulous clothes. How does that go?
Ooh. Actually, it's really nice. It's really, really nice. I was thinking of one of my business trips where that was more the norm, like more business professional, because there's business casual or just casual. And it's really nice. And then it's like the discourse changes more of like, all right, I got to up my game, Instead of being the top of the room, it's like, oh, I've got to up my game. And that's part of it too.
Right.
Because now like I've made this incredible progress from where I was in 2016, like broke as hell, to at my standards then becoming rich and wealthy. And now I'm like, okay, I want to take it to the next level. Like I've done that. What's next?
And so what's next?
Join us for the rest of this conversation at driveintotheres.com.
And when you go to driveintotheres.com and you join in the rest of the show, rest of the second hour, you also get to join in the after party. 9 o'clock on Fridays, we all get together, including you.